Welcome to Preservation Travels with Lane and Kevin back in beautiful Natchez, Mississippi. We have a dream fixer-upper for you today. Welcome back to beautiful Natchez, Mississippi. We are in high summer here right now, so we are drenching wet, and we've been outside for all of maybe 3 minutes. So bear with us today as we sweat our way through this project we've brought you. We are really excited about this house, and I know you're going to be walking through it with us going, "You're really excited about this house?" But we're always getting asked, how do you get into this? Where do you find your properties? I want a Victorian home to restore. I can't find a house. Help me, help me. Well, here you go. We are here today with help for your first Victorian project. This home is currently listed for $79,000, but it is beautifully architecturally intact inside. There are things in this house that we often don't see in some of the multi-million-dollar mansions that we bring you. So, are you a young buyer? 20, 25 years old, wanting to get onto the property ladder, longing to get a home of your own, a project of your home. You have a very limited budget. You've saved $100,000 or you can get a loan for $150,000. This is the project for you because you can come in here, buy the home at a low price and work on it and work your way through it as you can. So let us take you on a tour today of this absolutely fantastic Victorian fixer-upper. It's going to be perfect for one of you to get started with here in gorgeous Natchez, Mississippi on a beautiful street surrounded by restored homes. I'm going to start out by walking through this 9-foot front door and I'll show you some of the treasures that lay inside. So come with me. Here we are in the grand entryway. Look at this. Just look at it. It is magnificent. These emerald green 1x6 Victorian tiles, they are completely intact. I don't even see one cracked, which even in this pearl, all of our fireplaces have cracked tiles. That is a good sign for you as well, because if you don't have any cracking in your fireplace tiles, you can be almost certain that your foundation is good and solid, because fireplaces do tend to shift with the foundation often and you get cracking in your tile. So that's a good sign. And then we have a painted mantle, but I guarantee you underneath this paint, you have a gorgeous oak mantle and it retains its original beveled glass. Around me, you'll see these beautiful original windows. Now, some of them are going to need their panes of glass replaced, but that's an easy job with these single pane windows as you see here. And still under coats of paint, have your original hardware. We've got super high baseboards with corner blocks. We have 12-foot ceilings retaining our original picture mold. Another almost priceless detail. And it's a detail that if it's missing, it's very costly and time-consuming to replace for such a small thing. So it's a big deal to have that present. Now, these floors are laminate. They're plastic floors. But I guarantee you underneath here, you've still got your original heart pine. They're probably going to need some repair, but that's something you can do as time moves on. I want to call your attention to this colonnade that moves up onto our stairway. The top of its column matches the top of the column here on the fireplace. You're missing the piece on the other side, and more than likely, I'm looking for ghost marks. I do see about a 2-inch wide ghost mark running the length of this load-bearing beam. So more than likely, there was a full colonnade surround here. Something else that you can work overtime to replace. But look at this beautiful newel post, handrail, and banisters. They're beautiful. The balustrade is gorgeous, and it's completely intact all the way to the second floor. These beautiful little turned posts are here. They're just waiting on someone to love them. Now, things in this space you're gonna have to address. Someone has put some god-awful texture over the beautiful plaster ceiling, and as will happen when you put clay over plaster, it's peeling off. Gonna need to scrape that off. We have a little bit of delaminating plaster in the corner from some old water damage. You gotta do a little repair there. But other than that, this is almost a purely cosmetic fix in this space. Paint, wallpaper, redoing your floors, a little paint stripping, and you have a glorious front entryway. Let's go into the front parlor and let me show you this treasure in here. All right, once again, look at this. Just look at it. Just look at it. What do I even need to say about this? Nothing. This is worth buying the house for. What we see here, and I love it when we can see pop culture of the day coming into our architecture. We know that this house must have been built around the 1910 period because that's when we really start to see Egyptian revival elements coming into architecture. And look at this. It's a lotus blossom column. I love it. And then of course we have another complete emerald green fire surround. You might not be able to see it, but there's hints of copper and blue. And then this stunning Art Nouveau fire screen that's original. In this room, you have all of your original trim. It's all been painted. So what do? Do you strip it? Do you paint it? That's entirely up to you. You've got all of your original corner blocks in each of the corners. You can't get these anymore. Wonderfully level floors, wonderful ceilings made of plaster hidden underneath this awful gypsum clay texture. That's a little bit of water and a putty knife, scrape it off, you're good to go. So this is another room where cosmetic changes are going to create a beautiful space. And in this room, we have our original heart pine floors. Come through. I can't tell you how important what I'm about to say to you is. The floors in this house are completely level, and so far we've found no soft spots. So while she's an ugly lady right now, she has a lot of cosmetic issues. She's not pretty to look at on the interior. Her bones are good. They're so good. And that's all you need to really make one of these gems shine again. So this is what would have been the dining room. It's right off of the butler's pantry, then right off of the kitchen. This is kind of a disaster, isn't it? At some point, we lost what would have been the original wooden mantle, and probably in the 70s, this brick mantle was used to replace it. But oak mantles can be found everywhere. Period 1910-ish oak mantles, I don't want to say are a dime a dozen on the market, but close, they're everywhere. What you can't find are the tiles for the surround and the hearth. And yet again, we have a complete set of these tiles, this time in a gorgeous chartreuse and copper. You can just imagine the wallpaper you could use in here to coordinate with this. And another beautiful fire screen, this time with a rose theme. Stunning. Again, all your original trim, your picture rails in place, your baseboards are all in place. You have a little bit of rot on one of your window sills, but some wood hardener and Abitron wood epoxy would fix that right up. Have all of your original hardware. Little spackle, little paint, make her what she ain't. Let's go into the kitchen. We're in what would have originally been the butler's pantry, and it's been turned into sort of a breakfast room sort of space. Again, nice level floors, really interesting wood paneling on the wall. Not original, we know it's not original because we have no hint of any cabinetry that would have been in here, and this space would have been filled, no doubt, with some kind of storage cabinetry. But really great, interesting three-dimensional paneling on the walls. I wouldn't change it. I would leave it, paint it, clean it up. We have some ceiling issues in here, but what is that? A little drywall work. Kevin and I have been doing that all week. It's not gonna kill you. And then they have it opened up to the kitchen. Would I do that? Probably not. I'd probably close it up and let it be one space again. And then a little firebox here. So great space to work with. Do we turn it into a breakfast room? Do we turn it back into a butler's pantry? That's entirely up to you, but it's a solid, sound space for you to create whatever your imagination can come up with. So let's take a look at the kitchen. I'm not gonna lie, this room is disgusting. This is a kitchen in a home that's been vacant for about 15 years. So any of the grease and grime and gunk that was here when the last tenants moved out is still here, and now it's 15 years old. But this is a big kitchen space. This is a good kitchen space even for a modern sized home. It is especially good for historic home. And again, we have this really cool three-dimensional paneling wall treatment in this space. Probably put in sometime in the 60s or 70s, but now sort of has historic value of its own. I would start with that as my foundation for what I'm gonna do with this room. Rip out everything you see behind me with this cabinetry and build from there. And let me tell you what, this entire space is worth the view that you get out of this window. So just off of that absolutely glorious courtyard you just saw, you have your servant stairs behind me, this gorgeous set of French doors, probably not of the build period, probably closer to 1920 or 30, but beautiful. Then you have your hot water utility closet, and then you have a full bath down here, which is splendid. You've got, if you don't want to use it as a full bath, it actually has a teeny tiny bathtub in it right now. It's really cute. But if you don't want to use it as a full bath, there couldn't be a better place for a powder room in a downstairs. And that's one of the things we always struggle with when we're rehabilitating a 100-year-old home. Where do you put the extra powder room that your guests would use? There's never a good place. This one already has one. Let's go upstairs and see those treasures. No, the stairs are not painted blue. This is carpet. At some point, someone went to the store and they voluntarily selected this carpet to be installed on their gorgeous stairway. So I'm not telling you what to do, but I think the first thing I might do if I bought this home is pull up this carpet and re-expose the beautiful hardwood stairs that are underneath it. But the good thing is they've been protected for all of these years by this carpet. So once you pull up the carpet, you shouldn't have a lot of damage to your stairs underneath. There's a little bit of damage to a couple of these balusters. There's a little panel missing on the other side of the newel post, but it's all right here. It just needs a little bit of repair work. So again, just cosmetics. It's just making something ugly beautiful again, and that's something we all have the ability to do. This is truly a project where you are only limited by what you're willing to learn. So let's go upstairs because there are more treasures up there, more fireplaces that you have to see. So come with me. Something else that we look for when we're looking at these old properties that need a lot of work is the condition of the stairway. If your stairway is leaning, thusly, you really want to consider making that purchase, because repairing that can be costly, if not impossible, especially on a limited budget when you're doing things yourself. The great thing about this stairway, it's solid as a rock. It's level, and I think we counted 2 stairs that have a little bit of squeak as you go up. And if you live in a 120-year-old house, you want a little squeak as you go up the stairs. It's part of the charm. So what do we have in this space? Well, first of all, we have a grand landing. Again, mud on the ceiling. It's horrible. I don't know who went wild with the drywall bucket, mud bucket in this space, but I'd like to have a chat with them. This is not the way that we repair plaster. But in this space, you have the servant stair entry off of the back porch. You see you've got gorgeous transoms over all of your rooms. And up here you have 4 bedrooms. So you have the possibility of making a main suite on this floor if you would like to. So let's look at the 4 bedrooms and see what they all hold. Start up here at the front. Look at this room. Look at the light. Look at these, what would have been screens. The screens are gone. These are your interior summer screens. They still have their original latches on them. There we go. They just need a little bit of repair work. It makes me giddy. And then look at this gloriousness. Seriously, look at it. Just look at it, look at it, look at it. We've got these incredible columns. These are just like the ones at Pearl. This is exactly the same detail. And then another complete fireplace surround. How has this house lasted, basically abandoned, for this long without being stripped of all of its beautiful architectural elements? And how are these tiles still intact? You'll notice you have a little bit of chimney debris in the bottom of the fireplace. This is actually very, very minimal. This is a good sign that your chimney is probably in really good shape and could be made usable again. These fireplaces could more than likely be made to function again. But even if not, you can put some ventless gas inserts in here and have flames in the winter if you want. It never gets cold enough in Natchez really for you to worry about that. Let's walk through and see this other space. Should I just stop talking about the mantles? I mean, how many of you are gonna get tired of hearing me talk about the mantles? I don't care, I'm gonna talk about the mantles. Look at them. We have another one in the second floor. Complete surround with its summer screen. It just needs to have the paint stripped off of it. You have gorgeous columns again. Once again, up here on the second floor, you'll notice if you look around, there's no real cracking that we see. These walls do appear to have had drywall added to them at some point. Yeah, but that's nice, that's great, it's already done for you. This room needs some paint, that's all it needs. You do have some built-in closet space here. Would I leave it? I don't know, I might find a better option than this, but you do have that available to you. And then over here, you have a box head window. Look! Y'all, why do ours never do this? Why do the ones that I buy never do this when I walk into the house? You exit onto this gorgeous second story porch, which is structurally sound. You can walk out there, you can use it as an additional porch space. Buy this house. Somebody buy this house and redo it. Here we are in the third upstairs bedroom. Now this is the one that I would make the main part of the main suite. Another one, fully complete. I mean, seriously, y'all, this is unbelievable. We have a gorgeous door behind us with a transom above it. You have these amazing 5-panel raised doors. Gorgeous light in here, but the thing that I love about it, this is an enormous room by itself. And then behind it, we have the fourth bedroom, which would make an incredible bathroom and closet for this space. So let's go take a look at that. Now this is the room that I would use as the bathroom for the main suite. And through this window, you get another view of that incredible courtyard. Another beautiful fireplace with its complete surround. Now this is the only one that suffered at some point a little bit of abuse. Someone got after it with some paint, but a razor blade will take that off. So to access this room from the room we were just in, you come through the servant stairway access. There is a large space that currently includes a full bathroom and is a big open space. So I would use these two rooms and that additional space to create one main suite for this upstairs. That's what I would do. And I do want to point out that all of these rooms all have their original heart pine floors in them still. So there's a little bit of water damage here and there, but they're solid. I don't see any of them that have any need of replacement, and that's always the big thing. And these second floor joists feel nice and strong. Now we are aware from an inspection that has been done where the servant stairs exist right now, the exterior porch where those servant stairs are, the sill beam needs to be replaced. That's something you can do yourself. And there's a little bit of jacking up that needs to be done in that area, but that's the only major issue that was found in an inspection. And that's something you can do yourself as long as you're willing to learn.
This home does currently have electrical, plumbing, and HVAC, though we do anticipate there needing to be updates to all of these systems. The roof also needs to be replaced. However, even if you had to invest $150,000 into the remodel of this home, you would still have a home worth, at the current market value, $310,000 to $325,000 once you're finished. This home is an excellent investment.
Look what I just found. So you'll notice on the exterior columns, all of the capitals are missing. This is a portion of the original terracotta capitals that were on top of those columns. The good thing about it is there's enough of a remnant that you could have a cast made and replicate these column tops to have them back on this house. You can see these are made of terracotta, but in today's day and age, we probably would make them out of a form of epoxy, lighter weight, longer lasting, but this material makes it possible for you to put the original style capitals back in place. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this look at what is possible to buy for very little money and the treasures that it still holds. We want to invite you to take on a project like this, to be brave enough to step up to the plate and say, I can make that beautiful again. There's nothing here that can't be done if you're willing to learn how to do it. And the good news is a lot of it can be done over time as you develop your skills and learn how to take that next step. So, are you the next caretaker of this beautiful home here in Natchez, Mississippi? As we said earlier, it's on the market, listed. They're asking $79,500 on a beautiful street, walking distance to downtown and all of the activities. Are you going to be the one to take this lady on? The link to the realtor and all of the information and the Zillow listing is in the description below. Thanks for joining us.